everybody, and welcome to our top 10 quick comic picks. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, a very rainy Chattanooga,
Yep.
Tennessee right now, where we're going to be going over about 10 of the biggest books coming out this week really fast. So let's get into what's coming out this week.
Starting with number 8. What? Star Wars Hyperspace Stories number 8 with art by this guy right here. He did the cover, he did the interior art, the inks, and then the colors on the cover too. But the story is really good too. General Hux and Kylo Ren are sent to a planet to make everybody there fall in line with the First Order, but they have different methods of making that happen, and which one of those went out?
I know, because I drew it. Next up, we've got Miss Marvel, the new mutant number one. I can't want to say new Avenger, the new mutant
Uh,
number one. So we now have Miss Marvel who knows that she is a mutant. Her abilities haven't manifested themselves. But in this one, she is going to go to a summer kind of camp type thing, but it's run by Orcus, the
oh no.
anti-mutant thing, and she's there to spy on them. So
Okay.
very cool, and I'm really excited to see what's in store for Miss Marvel.
All right, so next up, we're about to wrap up with Night Terrors as of this week, but we've also got a new storyline coming in, Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War. It all starts here. This is called Battle Lines, and Batman has been out of commission for a certain amount of time, and while he's been out of commission, Catwoman has kind of cleaned up the streets a little bit, but the way she's gone about it isn't exactly good, isn't exactly legal. Is Batman and the Bat family, are they going to let her get away with that? I don't know. You'll have to wait and see.
And next up for me, I have Plot Holes number one. This is a new one from Massive from Sean Gordon Murphy. He does the writing and art in it, and this is fantastic. It follows a group called the Plot Holes who exist inside of the kind of book world, and their job is to go into books and fix the bad writing and the bad editing to create a book that will be more successful. There's bigger ramifications for that. You have to check it out. This book is fantastic.
Next is Marvel Age number 1000. So this is kind of a celebratory book of Marvel's history. This features 8 different short stories by various creative teams, featuring characters from Marvel's past, like the original Captain Marvel, the original X-Men, but also Spider-Man, Daredevil, things like that. Just some really good short stories in here with some really great art.
Next up, I've got Action Comics presents Doomsday Special, and this is super cool. So, Doomsday is dead, and he is in hell, and they are calling him the King of Hell,
Ooh.
King Doomsday down there. And now it's up to Supergirl and Martian Manhunter to stop Doomsday from breaking out of hell. That's just a taste of what you get in this book. This is crazy and sets up some big stories coming up for Superman in the future.
Next up is this big boy. This is The Devil's Cut. So this is the first book from Distillery, which is the new publisher made up by a lot of different, some of the top creators in the industry. So this one actually features 11 different short stories by a whole bunch of different creative teams. It gave me a little bit of Black Mirror vibes, but not quite because they're not all sci-fi stories. But it felt like that. But just really good creators and really interesting stories in this one.
And I've got our final part of Night Terrors. Night Terrors is officially over with this issue. This is Night Terrors Night's End. And in this one, it just really, the final showdown between our heroes and Insomnia and all of his people go down. But the really interesting stuff is what happens at the end that sets up some future storylines for our heroes and kind of a new status quo for the heroes
Yeah.
in the DC universe.
And then last for me is Local Man Gold. So this is a one shot that is a new story. It's its own story, but it does kind of follow the Local Man series that's been out so far. And this one is very meta because it's a Local Man or his previous identity of Crossjack has to deal with kind of a multiversal crisis type event, and the fate of the multiverse hangs in the balance.
And lastly, for me, I've got Conan the Barbarian number two. This is a fantastic issue continuing Conan and his new compatriot here as they are being chased by these zombie-like warriors. But I do want to tell you, this book, even though stores have got it in this week, actually got postponed to next week So if you go in your store looking for Conan the Barbarian issue number 2, you might not find it because the A cover has been postponed. This is actually a variant. So if you go into your store and you don't see Conan, that is why, but stick around, it will be there. And that is it for our top 10 comic quick picks. Thank you so much for watching. Head on over to infinityflux.net right now where you can pre-order books. You can order these books we talked about today. And stay tuned for our longer show coming up. We're going to be going in depth on all these books plus much, much more. So thank you so much for watching and
See ya.
bye.